Hello, thank you so much for dropping by this video. I am going to tell you an amazing story that's actually true, and it's how I healed my knees through spiritual means. Starting around 2000, might have been 2007, I think is when it was diagnosed, I started to have intense discomfort in my knees. And it was becoming uncomfortable to walk up and down stairs. I could walk normally, but things like stairs or strenuous exercise just really didn't feel good. Very uncomfortable. And I went to the doctor and he diagnosed, I forget the technical term, but chronic swelling of the knees. He said there was really nothing I could do to cure it. Surgery would temporarily uh, relieve it, but I would just have to manage it. And the way to manage it was that I went to do physical therapy and they taught me stretches. And he gave me this cream, I think it's called capsilium cream. It was burned, it was very hot. I had to put it on my knees initially every day. Over time, it became every other day. And doing that, that and the stretches, it definitely was basically managed. It didn't bother me too much. But if I let the stretches or the capsilium cream go, boy, did they start to ache. So I just kind of lived that way and just kind of adapted. There were certain yoga poses I couldn't do. I walked up steps kind of mindfully, and I just did my stretches and put on the cream. And that went on till about 2012. Yeah, it was in 2012 that I found out about a form of spiritual healing, a way to actually heal the body through taking in energy. Now, I honestly thought it was kind of bunk, but I was desperate because the knees were just one of many serious. I had much more serious problems. Like the knees were under control. I was managing them, um, but um, But after I experienced my first healing using this method, then I began to wonder, like, maybe the knees will heal too. That would be nice. Like, no more capsilium cream, no more stretching, required stretching, and maybe I can do more activities. Like, I couldn't do strenuous physical activities. So, um, for example, I had been doing martial arts. I started martial arts in, I think, 2009, but there were just certain moves I just couldn't do. And I'd be like, wow, to have a full range of motion again, that would be great. And so, interestingly enough, I started after finding out about this spiritual form of healing, I felt this very strong pull to start this new type of martial art. And I was a little worried because it's very strenuous and puts a lot of, it even had jumping in it. And I was like, how are my knees going to handle that? But I really had faith that that the knees could heal. I'd had a couple healings at that point, and so I knew this practice was really real. So I went and did the martial arts, and I really loved it. And sure enough, the knees started to ache and hurt. But what I learned in this spiritual practice was just to give the illness or burden away and really trust that it was going to heal. And so that's what I would do. I would, just kept doing my life, and I still did my stretches, still put the cream on, and then when they really hurt, I just said, "No, I give this away. This is going to heal." And the martial arts got really intensive. There was a lot of jumping, and it was Taekwondo. It's very leg heavy, actually. It's a leg focused martial art, and but I was doing okay. With my knees were doing okay, which in and of itself was a miracle. And then every now and then they would just flare up really bad. Like I remember once I was out walking and just all of a sudden they hurt worse than they'd ever hurt before. But I knew, in this spiritual practice I was doing, they talked about how sometimes in a healing process it'll get temporarily worse. And so I'm like, no, they called it regulation. That's just a regulation. It's actually healing. And I just kept walking and it was fine. One time I was at a dance and I was dancing and it hurt so bad I couldn't even walk. Now that had never happened before. Like this was excruciating pain. And I just said, no, I don't accept this. This is healing. And and I just kept walking, and within a few steps, all the pain was gone. And it was after that point that I realized my knees were healed. I could do everything. Um, I could do all the yoga poses I couldn't do anymore. I could bend down, I could squat, and my knees were completely healed. So the main way they were healed was taking, obviously working with my thoughts, some of which I just shared, but also taking in healing life energy. Um, and it led to a complete healing of a condition my doctor said would never heal. So if you have some kind of medical condition that your doctor has said this isn't going to heal, it's actually not true. It can heal. I've experienced it in my own body, in my knees, much less in other places. So if you'd like to know more, please click on the link below. This is not a sales pitch. There's no money involved. There's no cult to join. It's just a set of simple spiritual practices so that you can become your own physician and your own healer. Thanks so much for watching this video. And if you have any questions or comment or feedback, please do post below. Thanks so much.